Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Have an Amiibo review for you today. This past Friday, June 10th, the Kirby series of Amiibo were released, and these four are the first four in that series. No word really as of yet if there's going to be more or if this is all there is. These came out because they coincided with the release of Kirby Planet Robobot, which was a game for 3DS that also came out on June 10th, so these kind of coincide with the release of that. So the four we have in the Kirby series so far are Waddle Dee, Meta Knight, Kirby, and King DeDeDe. Now these three were previously released in the Super Smash Bros. Series of Amiibo. Waddle Dee is the only one that is truly new 100%, but these are all reposes. So we'll be taking a look at all of these obviously, but then I will also do comparisons of these three to the Super Smash Bros. Versions. So the packaging I think looks beautiful. I really like the blue and the stars for space and everything. Each character is very large on the top. I've always really liked the Amiibo packaging. Not really much to the back. Just kind of advertises Kirby Planet Robobot. Shows the Amiibo here. You get a special costume and a copy ability. So that's just detailing out the Amiibo functionality in the new game. So we'll take a look at each of these four real fast, and then we'll proceed to open them up and take a look and do some comparisons here. So there you go. Top of every one is very generic, just shows a Mario how you scan it in and everything. So we'll go ahead, we'll get these four out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so up first, of course, we have to have Kirby. I really like this pose. It's him riding around on the star, which he does in the game from time to time. Ride the star around to get from place to place, and also sometimes shoot up in the air and then come crashing down on an enemy. But I like it. He looks very playful. The paint on the face is very nice. The feet are molded nicely. I love the star. Something you'll notice with all the Kirby Amiibo, they have a nice, beautiful blue base. I really like that a lot. And then you can kind of see, it's not as easy to see with Kirby, but we'll see with some of the others. They have kind of a cool star pattern here on the base. So I really like this guy. To bring in the Super Smash Bros. One, I always thought the Smash Bros. Pose was very basic. He's just kind of sitting there on the ground. Of all the different things you can do with Kirby, he can absorb all powers, and he can do all kinds of crazy things and look different with so many kind of different costumes to simulate what power he currently has. And they just kind of had him sitting there on his butt. So I really like this pose. Obviously you can see it's a little bit deeper pink. This is a little bit lighter pink. But I love seeing him ride the star. I think that's really cool. Also a little bit smaller. The Smash Bros. One is a little bit larger. But not to say that this one's bad. I think I prefer the new one over the old one. But they're both pretty good. But at least if you had a hard time getting this, you can now go ahead and pick this one up, and I think it's a little bit better. Next up we have Meta Knight. I think they did a pretty good job. Again, you have the really nice blue base with the star pattern here. You can really get a better look at it here on Meta Knight. But he has his cape kind of furled out to the side as he's wielding his sword here. Nice paint there with a little red jewel. You can see his eyes in the middle of his face, and he's got his little Meta Knight symbol here on his shoulder. Pretty nice design. I like the cape. Now, as you know, with the Smash Bros. One, his cape, he had kind of transformed into wings, as that is a power he has. So it's a very, very different pose. When you really get them next to each other, you can really see how different they are. When the pictures kind of first came out, everyone thinks, oh, that character already happened. But there really are big differences. I mean, the wings and the cape obviously is a big difference. But you can see the Kirby line is a little bit more streamlined, a little bit softer, not as much kind of molded in detail. I mean, if you take a look at just like the hand, I don't know, gauntlets or braces or whatever you would say there. See, it's just smoother, not as much kind of textured detail. There's almost kind of a little bit of a black wash going on here, and this is just kind of smoother. In this one, I really like the wings, so I think I like the Smash Bros. One a little bit better. But if you weren't able to get this one, I still think this is a fine replacement as far as just being able to get some representation of the character. I still think this is a pretty good representation here. Just a little bit smoother and less detailed because it matches the overall more cartoony outlook of this Kirby line. Next up, we have King DeDeDe, and if there was ever someone to hammer home the idea that this line is smoother and less detailed and more cartoony, it's definitely him. When I saw pictures of this guy originally, I just thought something was off. I really did not like the look of him. Now that I have him in hand, he's definitely grown on me, and I like him more. But I still think the Smash Brothers one is a little bit better. You can see the symbol here on the back, the nice float out cape. I do really like his mallet. I think that looks pretty good. I don't really know why he has this kind of stop in the name of love pose there or something. I don't know what's going on with that. But to bring in the Smash Brothers one again, definitely more detail. I mean, you can see in the kind of kimono that he wears, that's not even here. It's not even present on this new one. Definitely a lot less texture in the mallet, and certainly a lot less texture in the, hem of the cloak or jacket that he wears. I guess robe, technically. And even the symbol on the back is less detailed. Now, that's not to say that this is a bad representation. I just definitely think, in this case, I have to give it up to the Smash Brothers version. Overall, it's just a little bit better. This guy's not bad. He's just definitely a little bit more cartoony. I do kind of like the mallet better in the cartoony style. I really like the star here on the sides. But the robe and the facial expression, I definitely have to give it to this guy. But he's not bad. It's really, like I said, this guy was really hard to find. So if you need a representation of this character and you cannot get this because it's nowhere to be found, this is perfectly fine. I think he's a good stand-in. I definitely like this version. I just like this one a little better. And last but certainly not least in this line here, we have Waddle Dee, which is the only character in this line to not be represented before in Amiibo fashion. I think he looks great. He's a simple little character, but he's just really adorable, and I love the kind of tufted cloud that he's sitting on with the stars. Again, I love the blue base that they use for this line with the star pattern. So I think if you don't get any of the other ones, I would at least definitely recommend picking up Waddle Dee because he's had no previous representation. He's a great little character. They did a fantastic job designing him. I really, really like what they did with this, and it's just a lot of fun. I think they did a really fantastic job with the Kirby line. I was a little bit skeptical at first when they were first revealed. I mean, I really do like Kirby. I like the blue bases and the style for the design of the kind of star on top of the base. I think that all looks great. But it was a little weird to me that 3 of these characters have already been represented in Amiibo form. Waddle Dee's the only one that's perfectly new. But now that I have them in hand and I have seen them in person, I'm able to hold them and look at them. I do like them. They've definitely grown on me. There's definitely a style to this line, and it's definitely a softer, less detailed but smoother, cartoony look, but it's not bad. It's just different. You know what I mean? The Smash Brothers line was all about, gritty detail and because it's a kind of a battle theme. Not that it's a game geared towards, older collectors, but it almost kind of is. Like, obviously kids can enjoy it, but it takes itself more seriously. Like, this game is definitely a game aimed at children. This line is more cartoony, more soft-hearted, so it's not looking for that same level of detail because it's trying to be softer, less hard edges and whatnot. But I think they did a great job. I have to say, at first I was surprised, but they really haven't done many restocks of the Super Smash Brothers of these two, and I believe it's because they knew this was happening. So they didn't restock these because they knew that there was going to be a new way for you to get these characters, and they wanted to kind of push these versions on you. And they're not bad. I mean, like I said, my personal preference for these two characters is probably the Smash Brothers version, but that's not to say that these versions are not perfectly good. I really do prefer the Kirby riding the star to the Smash Brothers version, and of course Waddle Dee is brand new and he's great. So I recommend the whole line. If you already have the Smash Brothers versions of these two, I could see how you'd pass on them, but I 100% recommend these two. I think you should definitely pick them up and add them to your Amiibo collection because these two are absolutely fantastic. These are perfectly good, but if you don't want to buy repeat of characters you already have, I could see you skipping those. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd really love to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts, if you prefer one over the other, if you think these guys don't look as good, or anything you want to let me know about this whole Kirby line of Amiibo, let me know down below. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Kirby series of Amiibo, and thanks so much for watching.